It's time for the business news now with Nona Peltier. Nona, consumer confidence. Well, this is an interesting turn of events. Improved slightly from last month. What can you tell us?
It was pretty bad last month. I can tell you that for sure. So last month it was about as bad as it had ever been. And this month just passed. Not as bad. Expectations are still pretty poor around, the economy, people's own outlook. Some people think it's still not a bad time to buy a major appliance, but an awful lot of people don't think it's a good time to do anything. In fact, they're keeping their money in their pocket if they have any. And house prices are expected to fall, which is probably the most concerning part of this survey, because so much of New Zealand's wealth is invested in their own home. And if they're expecting their prices to drop, that really goes to the heart of their economic story, so yeah, it could be quite serious. Unemployment and so on, these kinds of things have definitely been feeding into these numbers. So overall, it's what you would kind of expect. But it does indicate that there's going to be some really tough times ahead. And the ANZ that put out this survey suggests that, we have come through COVID-19 in terms of the lockdown and all of that fairly well, but there's economic wreckage in every direction.
Okay. Big infrastructure investor has reported a strong profit boosted by its recent investment in Vodafone. What's this all about?
Okay, so this is a company called Infratil, and they own all sorts of power companies. They own, well, not completely. They invest in power companies, data centers, Vodafone, airports. They have Wellington Airport, all sorts. And they invest in renewable energy, not just in New Zealand, but also Australia. They've got a big investment there, as well as the United States. Overall, the company has done extremely well. Last year, they sold one of their wind farms for over $1 billion, and they reinvested that money into Vodafone, which they bought a half share for about $1 billion. They also invested another $1 billion in all sorts of other projects to improve their own position, and they ended up with a profit of $484.2 million. Part of that is the proceeds from the sale of the wind farm, and that compares with $52.4 million the year before. Now that's a ninefold increase, big increase over the year earlier. The company is said it was really hard to put an outlook on their this financial year, but they were saying that their data centers have government contracts, and so that they'll do better than others, and. So it should be quite interesting to see how I got something that just came in for you. There you go. Just arrived.
We'll get to that in a minute.
So overall, Infratil has done pretty well, and their outlook is uncertain. Like every other company we talk to, they don't want to put a forecast on their earnings.
Well, they've got a mixed business, haven't they? They've got some essential services, and then other things like aviation could be a complete opposite
the Wellington
story.
Airport's a good one. Yeah. I mean, what's the outlook for that? Someone asked, and they said, well, what's an airport worth today? Who knows? Not a lot. Not as much as it was before, for sure. So overall, then, our market did actually not too badly. It had a bit of a choppy session in the afternoon, and that's partly because of the concern with what's going on in Hong Kong and what Donald Trump might say overnight. He's expecting to make a statement. He's already flagged that he's going to be making a statement, and there's some current concerns there that he may sever the special economic relationship that Hong Kong has with the United States. If that happened, the Hong Kong market could definitely, the characteristics would change. That could be a big fallout there. So a bit shaky in Asia, but not us. We rose 0.25% today, 26 points up to 10,882. And our dollar, little changed, 62.1 US cents, 93.3 Australian, and 50.3 British pence. But look, everything could change tomorrow.